All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the second episode of the Inside Scoop podcast with Jackson and myself. Today we have a very promising and special guest with us, Max Elgert. Max, thanks for joining. For those of you who don't know, Max is a another national team athlete. He's a setter that was training and competing with the B team this summer, as well as the under 23 team. Max, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is a cool thing you guys got going on.
Yeah, so for the viewers, Matt's currently playing in Bydgoszcz, Poland. I may not be saying that right, but Matt, so just get into it a little bit. How's life in Poland? How are you liking your first year of pro out there?
It's pretty good. It was like there was a pretty big learning curve and culture shock, like just showing up here and like not knowing the language or I guess just the lifestyle so much. So I don't know. I feel like the first couple months were a little like I felt a little lost. I don't know if it was the same for you guys where you're at, but it was like took a little getting used to for sure. But things are good now. Like I've kind of started to, I don't know, like you make some friends on the team and then makes everything a little bit easier. So yeah, going to
like is your team only Polish guys and Polish coach, or do you have any other foreigners on your team, or is it?
Yeah, no, I'm the only foreign guy, so it's me and 12 Polish guys. The coach is from, the coach is from Slovakia, but he played pro in Poland for like 15 years, so he speaks Polish and he's pretty much Polish, but
So your practices, are your like practices and everything, like when coach is like talking in drills and stuff, is it Polish and then
yeah.
and then they'll translate it for you?
Yeah, if it's anything that applies to me, like the coach will maybe say it directly to me, but his English is like pretty good. But if it's something to the whole team, it's in Polish, and if it's important, guys like tell me later. If it's just like the coach ripping on the team for something, they usually just say like whatever. He's just pissed. Like
That's
so.
I have the same thing. My team is like we have one other foreigner, but he's from Uzbekistan, so his English isn't great either. And my coach doesn't speak a word of English; it's only Czech. So like it's kind of the same thing. I just only get the important parts of his speeches, and if it's something that the team's like, oh, he's angry, he's upset, or it's not important to you, he's like, just don't worry about it. So
Yeah. Okay, so do other players on the team translate for you, or do you guys have like an assistant coach?
I know it's other players on the team.
Okay.
Like we don't have an assistant coach, so we just have one coach, and then so like the guys on the team that not really like they don't love to translate. Like it's always like who's on translation duty, not me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It gets information gets across, but sometimes I'm missing a lot of the chunks in between the important stuff. I feel like.
Yeah, I know. Like when I first got here, like it was. I think I almost like cared too much about what the coach was saying, and like I always wanted to know exactly what was going on. And I think it kind of helped to just like say like fuck it, I'm just gonna play, and like if it's really important, then they'll like talk to me directly and figure it out. But like
Sometimes
it almost just made it
nice.
easier to not care.
Yeah, but sometimes it's nice. Like whenever our team's getting shit on by our manager, he doesn't speak a word of English, so he's just like screaming at the Austrian guys in German, and then all the foreign guys are all just sitting. We're like, all right, you done? Okay. And then like when we get it translated, the guys are always talking calm, so it's like I'd never get yelled at here. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. It's almost like if you have that mindset where you don't really care, like
Yeah.
it makes it a lot easier. You can just kind of tune that stuff out, which is okay
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like as a setter, like you have a little bit more like responsibility to kind of like communicate with your team than maybe a middle or outside would. So I feel like for you, it's probably like even to make it a little bit harder than being like a middle or outside where you're kind of running your team's offense. You kind of gotta be able to communicate a little bit better with coach and the players on the team, probably more than your Logan will have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know. The guys are pretty good about it, and they're fine if I just like speak English to them. I think they understand most of it. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes you have to speak like a bit slower and like more like simple. Like
Yeah.
just can't use any big words.
Throw grammar out the window.
Yeah.
This set, no good.
Yeah.
This
I
pass
almost find that
sucks.
now when I'm speaking, my grammar, my English is actually worse now. Like I speak in like a dumbed down version, even when I'm not talking to Czech people. I find sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
I speak in like a caricature. I'm like pretending to be someone who doesn't speak English, and that's how I'm gonna speak English now a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking like if I play like 5 years overseas, like I think my like vocabulary is gonna go to shit in English and stuff. Like you just, it's different. But
I'll get on like FaceTime or like a Zoom call with someone. I'm talking to them. I'm like, man, like what are you saying? Like, why are you speaking like you're foreign and don't know how to speak the language anymore? I'm like, oh, like sorry, I forgot I can speak fast and like properly to you. Because just every day I'm like cutting out words so that I don't like say too much too fast so that they understand. So I know what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah, and what's the town like? Do people speak English in the town, or is it like touristy at all? I don't really know anything about
it's definitely less touristy. Like I've gotten to travel to a couple bigger cities like Warsaw and Gdansk, and people speak a lot better English there than Bydgoszcz. In Bydgoszcz, like I've noticed the younger people speak English like okay, like people in their 20s. But older people like nothing. Like if you go to a shop and it's like an old lady working, she just like shakes her head and like it's like you try to figure it out. So.
Can you like
they slow down and speak really slow and loud and see if like you try to understand. They're just like, no, it doesn't matter if you're speaking a little slow. I'm not going to understand a single word you're saying.
Yeah, they pretty much like I've learned like how to ask if they speak English, like in Polish. Like mówisz po polsku or mówisz po angielsku, and they just just shake their head and it's like okay, and then you just try to like piece it together in Polish, but it's tough. So
it's a tough
how about you guys?
language. Polish is a tough language. Like I'm living with four guys, and I like learn certain things. Like I can say like thank you and like have like little 2-3 word conversations, and it's like half the words sound like the same to me, and I'm like, can you repeat that really, really slow? Like break down every syllable for me and like try and sound it out. So like German's a lot easier. Like there's a lot of words that like if I say no, I say nine. Like it's a number to me. Like I can say that no problem. Or like there's a lot of words that are like the same sounding in English. They mean different things. So it's not too bad, but I could not converse.
Yeah. I think beer like Czech is probably similar. I think like all the Slavic languages, they're just like really like consonant heavy and like difficult to pronounce the words even.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if I know what I need to say, it's tough to pronounce it half the times. So
yeah, like I'll have friends like tell me a word and I'll like try like 5-10 times to pronounce it correctly and just laughing. They're like, you're not even close. Like there's like sounds that don't even exist in like English language. Like we have this R of a half. It's like a j kind of thing from your throat, and I can never pronounce it correctly. And I feel like Polish, you got those weird letters too, like the look impossible to pronounce.
Yeah, exactly. Do a lot of people in your guys' cities speak English, or not so much?
For me, yeah. I'm lucky. Yeah.
My town's like a university town mostly, so like anybody like around my age would speak like English basically close to fluent, but anybody like above the age of like maybe 26, 27, 28, especially if they're like 30 or 40 or 50, they're not speaking really a word of English. So like my coach, like the only thing he knows is super service. It's only English. And sometimes we'll try to have conversations like where he's speaking Czech, I'm speaking English, and I'm like, we could be having two complete conversations right now, and either one of us going to walk away with like a completely different understanding of what we were trying to conversate.
That's awesome. That's so funny. Yeah.
All right, Beer. I think it's time to get into a little volleyball with Max here. I think Max, we're gonna stir the pot a little bit here. Who would you say of all of your years of volleyball, every person you've ever peppered with, who is the worst pepper partner you have ever had?
uh, okay, well, I can't really remember too much like before university,
Yeah, for sure.
but damn.
You're exposing someone with this answer.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe C Dizzy. I I haven't peppered with him much, but there were a couple times where like I don't know, it just happened that we were the last two guys, and it was it was marginal. So
That is funny.
sorry, Diz.
It's always the middle hand. Nobody wants to pepper with the middles. It's always last
Yeah.
choice.
We had Xander and Schnitzer on last time, and we asked them the same question, and Beer started with his, and Beer goes, "Xander, you were mine."
Yeah, Xander's got a pretty heavy arm in pepper. It can you tell sometimes?
Yeah. It's not like the lack
It's
of
not
ball control. It's the speed he hits it at you, for sure.
Yeah. There's only one gear with that guy.
Nice. That is funny.
Yeah, it's not a warm up. It's a digging and hitting drill for Xander. It's not a warm up.
That guy's born warm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, we had another questions here.
Okay.
You could switch into any other position in volleyball. What would you choose and why?
Uh,
And just be realistic. Like you can be like as tall as you want, as short as you want. Like if you wanted to be a 6'10" middle, you could be a 6'10" middle. But
I think probably like a left side. I think. Well, I think you get paid quite a bit. Maybe right side's given as much, but I think it's a cool position because you get to pass and be a part of the play that way as well.
No, reception
But
is
I don't
the
know.
worst.
I like the ring the most. I don't know if I'd change it.
yeah, you like the setter position.
Yeah, I think so. But left side would probably be my next choice.
Okay, another question here. If you could either or, you can increase your vertical to a 50-inch vertical, or just get an absolute cannon of an arm and be able to serve like 125 and above, like consistently.
If I choose the vertical, my arm stays the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the vertical.
Yeah, that's a tough one for a setter. Setter's like, I don't care how fast I can hit the ball. Like,
Yeah.
not as big a deal.
Yeah.
I
and
think
then-
Logan, you had another one.
Yeah, and then we got one more. So, again, could be, so if you could play anywhere in the world, where would it be? Doesn't have to be like with your current skill level. Could be just, you get to go play there. Where would it be?
That's tough. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of the leagues, so I feel like somewhere like Japan or China would be a cool experience. But honestly, being in Poland, I think playing in the Plus Liga would be pretty unreal. Like the fans are wild here, and it's like such a good level of ball. Like I think it's probably up there with Italy, depending on which Polish team you're on. So like,
Nice.
I feel like the Plus Liga would probably be my like dream.
Would that be a goal for next year of yours to play in the Plus Liga, you think?
I don't think I'm quite there yet. I think it's if you're gonna play in the Plus Liga, you kind of have to be a starter as a foreign guy because they have that 3 foreigners on the court rule.
Yeah.
So yeah, most of the foreign setters there are the starter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you get your team promoted to the Plus Liga, they'll keep you around.
Yeah. I don't think my team wants to make it up. They don't have the money. So.
So you're not really too worried about playoffs now. You're just like, okay, we can lose first round. I'll go home.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think they still want to do well. It's kind of a weird dynamic because even like for next year, they asked to have me back, but I kind of asked them like, what's the goal, and they said like, we don't want to get promoted. Like we don't have the funds and stuff. So yeah, kind of weird. I don't think we'll be getting promoted, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and what's been the playing out there been like? How have you found the level? How have you enjoyed playing, and like how's your team been doing overall?
It's like the level's good. I think this the skill of all the guys is solid. Like I'd say similar to like our B team group and stuff in Canada. But there's like a real mix of like physicality. There's like quite a few older guys that are either like finishing their careers in our league, like maybe played a couple seasons plus Liga, and then now they're back in the first league. And then a lot of like young guys that are just like kind of starting out. So I would say it's like less physical than national team stuff, but I'd say the skill levels there with like our B team group.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's been good. I definitely like would want to play in a better league eventually, but it's good for right now. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And do you have your eyes set on any leagues right now that you'd love to play in next year? Kind of realistically, more than
like France or Germany would be awesome, but we'll see. Like my agent's working, but nothing so far. So we'll we'll see. How about you guys? Any leads on next year? Or not sure yet.
I feel like as a middle, it's kind of like a slower. You're kind of getting scraps, and unless you're like popping off, being like dominant in your season for like it's a little bit more like you're waiting and seeing what are the options and kind of not really pick and choose. You're kind of having to force to take one when it's available, kind of thing.
Take what's on.
For sure.
I don't know. I have like a list of places I want to go, but then it's like I'm torn between like going to like France or Germany or something like that and playing really high level versus going like Spain, Portugal, Greece, something like that, where it's like it's still really good level volleyball, like especially like Greece, but it's just like I was in Spain over Christmas and I was walking around in a t-shirt. Like this is a lifestyle I could get accustomed to, so I don't know, just kind of taking whatever comes my way and then pick from there what's kind of most important, level of volleyball or the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the money too. You never know, like which will pay better. But
yeah. Unfortunately, we picked the wrong sport if we want to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Out here in Austria, Poland, and Czech, we're kind of stuck with the constant gray skies and crap weather for most of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing. But...
And where's Bydgoszcz in Poland? Is it like central Poland, North Poland, or?
It's like northwest. It's honestly like not super far from Berlin. If you were to just go over into Poland, it's like I think it's like a 5-hour train ride or something. So that's like the closest German city. Yeah. But it's a little bit cold in the winter for sure.
Yeah.
Max,
have you been able to watch any Police Liga games while you've been out there? Have you?
Yeah, I've seen 2. I saw Olsztyn and Zawiercie, and then just yesterday I saw Gdansk Zawiercie, which was that was a good one.
And how's like the atmosphere there compared to your games? Because I see sometimes on your Instagram clips you got a big arena, but it looks pretty empty a lot of times.
Yeah. Our arena's like way too big. Our team right now. Our club used to be Bundesliga like 4 years ago maybe, and they used to like get good crowds, but now we're pretty empty. The Gdansk game was unreal crowd. Like it's like I don't know how many people it would sit, but like similar to like the hockey arena in Edmonton, like Rogers, like it was massive. It was cool. It was fun. That'd be like sweet to play somewhere like that.
That's wicked.
Yeah, like football fans out there are crazy. And Logan saying the last episode, he gets even less fans than you guys. He gets about maybe 10 fans a game sometimes.
We get no fans. It's literally like you look in the crowd. Actually, I can't say that. Last game we had our best crowd of the year. Maybe like
25.
Maybe 60 people. Maybe 60 people.
Really?
But like
it's
I don't know what it is. Like it's just our town is kind of just dead. Like I walk around and like you see like a few people walking around here and there. You'll go to like the city center or like the mall, and I'm like, it's not even like it's not like a full mall. Like you don't see people like walking around everywhere. You're not shoulder to shoulder walking through people. Like it's just kind of like a ghost town. But it's I don't know. It's really weird. It seems like more of one of those places that you travel to because you're on your way to like Vienna or Salzburg or like somewhere bigger, more touristy. But like we get no fans. I think it's
How many people are in your city?
oh I couldn't tell you. I have
Okay.
no idea. It's not big. Um,
Okay, you go.
no, not big at all. But like if we have 20 people, 10 of them are like girlfriends or like friends of our like Austrian teammates. And then it's like the other 10 are sponsors who are there to watch the game. So it's like we don't actually have any like people who are just fans of watching our team. We just have people who have friends or like or it's an investment. Like nobody wants to watch us play volleyball here.
No, you're not too well in ticket sales in your team.
No, no, not at all. I think half the ticket sales aren't even sold because girlfriends and friends get in for free.
And are some of the crowds in the other teams you play in the Polish league big crowds, or are they all like pretty kind of similar, small crowds?
Usually, like, I think the numbers are actually similar, but a lot of the gyms we play in are like way smaller, so it's like fills the gym still.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say other places have better like atmosphere because it's like small and I don't know, they got their like fan club with the drums and horns and whatever. So yeah, some of the gyms have been pretty fun, but yeah, ours is definitely a little dead.
So more or less rowdy than playing at U of A.
More rowdy for sure.
Yeah.
Other places, not our gym though.
No.
Yeah.
Have you been to any Polish soccer games?
Yeah, I went to one that was like it was a Polish Cup match, so it was like the Big Gosh team, which is like fourth division against a first division team, and they got slaughtered. But it was good to watch. It was a good level of soccer still. So
Man, like the four Polish guys I live with, they'll put a soccer game on, and it's like people are like lighting flares in the crowd, and like it's just like you listen to it, and it's just deafening how loud they are. And I'm like, I kind of want to go to like one of these games. Like I feel like you don't get that kind of like atmosphere at North American sporting events. So I was like, I kind of want to go
yeah,
like to like a Bayern game, but apparently Germany's not as like crazy either. So figured maybe
I mean, I was in Berlin last week, and I went to Hertha Berlin game, and they're like second last place, but they played at the Olympic Stadium, and they filled up pretty nice, and it was out. They had flags and chants the whole time, and it was way better environment than I thought for a team that
really
might almost get relegated. And they
that's
won the game, so it was exciting. I also went to the team Sparta Prague last night in Prague, and that's a fun game too. Not as big of a crowd as Olympic Stadium, but they definitely get into it here more than our American fan base. We don't have the same environment of the drums and the chants and the flags. It's
yeah
definitely a lot more passionate here in every sport, it seems like,
yeah
except for World Cup.
even like watching the World Cup soccer matches with my teammates. Like for the Polish matches, they were like so invested and like just like cheering hard from their living room. Like it was pretty funny.
yeah they
Yeah.
all my roommates they hung up a Polish like soccer jersey on the wall. They had this poster beside of like with like a whole bunch of the teams and like filling out each game the scores and stuff. And as soon as Poland was playing, all four of them in the like the common room sitting there and just screaming at the television. Like I'm like in my room and just at the top of their lungs screaming at guys shoot shoot or like just screaming in Polish. I'm like, oh my god, like it's kind of cool how passionate Europeans are about their soccer. Kind of wish we had
Yeah.
something like that in Canada, but
I know that too, like even in games, like I've seen way more yellow and red cards than I've ever seen before in esports match. I think like we average like at least one yellow card, maybe two per game, and we've had like two or three red cards. And I've never seen a red card in an esports game ever, I don't think.
no,
Yeah, I also think like the refs are more tolerant of people like chirping at them too, because like guys on my team will like go at the refs or the linesmen and no card usually, but they seem a little more like used to it here. Like I think it's just normal.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, like
Poland's probably a
people
little more
swear at
accepting.
the refs and they won't do anything. Like in Canada, if you like got a swear word to the ref, you're like probably kicked out of the game. But here, like, you can chant and yell and scream, and maybe you'll get a yellow card. Maybe if you do it too many times, you get a red. But never seen anything like that in youth sports.
Man, I
Yeah,
think our team
exactly.
was on like a 12 game card streak, and then we lost it, but we're back on it. Thankfully. I think I think we were on a streak at one point. Every game we didn't get a card in, we lost. And it was always two of our four Polish guys would get the cards. It was either our libero or our other outside hitter. Every game, just fighting
Yeah.
for calls. Oh man, it's so funny. Oh, so Max, you were saying you've done a bit of traveling. Have you only been in Poland, or have you kind of gotten outside the countries doing a little bit?
No, only Poland. Like the most time I had off was at Christmas, and I only had like 5 days, so I wasn't super keen to go too far. But I've gotten to see Warsaw and Gdansk quite a bit, which are like the kind of two closest cities to me. And yeah, it's been cool. Like there's lots to see there. I think when my parents are gonna come in March, and they'll have a car, so we might go see some other stuff too, which will be nice. I
Nice.
want to go see Auschwitz because I've heard that's like something you got to see when you're here.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, but yeah, no, that's about it. Yeah, and
Nice.
you got to Spain for Christmas.
Yeah, I've actually been really lucky. We were in like the CEV Challenge Cup thing, whatever it's called. I still
Okay.
don't know. So we went to Israel, which
Oh,
was
sweet. How's that?
unreal. Like I think it was November maybe or whenever it was like zero back home in Canada, and I was on a beach swimming in shorts. Like it's unbelievable. It was
That
so nice out. We got absolutely spanked, but uh, couldn't really complain. The weather was beautiful. And then we are also in Mevza, which is like the Middle European league.
okay.
So we went Slovenia, Slovakia, um, Hungary, I think, and one other country that I can't remember right now. And
Okay.
then
Cool.
Spain over Christmas, and then Germany as well. So I've been lucky. I've gotten to do a lot of traveling with this team, which is super dope.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
How about you, beer? You just been in Czech or?
Not as much, yeah. We're not in any of the sub cup kind of tournaments, so we just kind of play in Czech League. But Prague's been close, and Finn plays there, so I've been out with Finn a bunch in Prague, and it's like only that way, so I spent a lot of time there. And last weekend I had a weekend off, so I took a solo trip up to Berlin, which was really cool to see, and really liked that. And had a week off at Christmas, so I went home to Toronto, which was like super nice to be able to do. So
Oh yeah, that's nice to
it
get
was kind
home.
of a shit show because of there was like a winter storm, like -30, like hurricane speed winds and like 5 feet of snow probably, and I got stuck. Took me like 48 hours to get home from Prague
Oh,
Airport.
really?
It was just
Yeah.
kind of a mess.
Man, I was
Yeah.
having like visa issues at the start of the season, and the only place I could go was in Munich, and this was like I think it was in October or September. I don't. It was during Oktoberfest. So my teammate drove me in his dad's Porsche 911. We're on the autobahn. He hits 290 in this dad's Porsche, and I'm sitting there in the sun. I'm like, I'm gonna die. But we get to Munich. I do my visa stuff at like the Austrian whatever it's called that you have to go do the visa stuff, and then we went to Oktoberfest for like an hour and a half, and like every single person is holding these beers like this big, like they're just huge beers and just spilling them. Just everyone's just absolutely hammered. I'm like, next year I am coming to Munich and I am gonna participate in these festivities because it looks like so much fun. Like they're just all hammered, going on rides. I'm like, you're drunk out of your mind, going on a roller coaster right now. Like that's just a recipe for something to go wrong.
That's awesome. That's cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
What time of the year is it? That's in October?
I think it's ironically in end of September, beginning of October, but
Okay.
around
Yeah.
October. Yeah, I don't know exactly when I was there. I think it was late September, ironically.
And what's like the town, like the city, like that you go to? Like, is it a fun place to be? Is there stuff to do, or is it like a small, kind of quieter place?
It's like a decent sized city. I think there's like 400,000 people. The like old town, downtown area is like really nice. Like lots of restaurants and bars and a couple clubs that are fun. But it almost seems like there's like a lot of like older people here, in general. Like especially in my neighborhood, like I don't know, lots of old people, and it's like definitely slower paced city than like living in Canada. I've noticed. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but yeah, it seems like a little dead sometimes. But
Well,
yeah,
you're
it's
Edmonton.
what's that?
Also, like Edmonton to where you are now, I'm sure is
Yeah,
versus like I guess beer London not so much, but like St. Catharines for me was not overly lively other than University Town, but
yeah. So it's okay though. There's not so much like there's not as much like historic stuff like museums and things here as like a city like Warsaw or Krakow would have. So not so much to do in that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's been good enough. Like when you only get like one day off a week, it's hard to want to do too much, anyways. So
Yeah, you're pretty. You want to stay in bed and do nothing. Maybe go for a walk to the grocery store if you're feeling up to it. That's about it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the one thing here is like everything is closed on Sundays. Like I think it's like a government mandate that like nothing can be open. So Sundays are like I don't know. There's like nothing to do.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so your one day off, there's nothing to do on your one day off. So you're kind of just like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same here. It's so boring. Ruined Sundays. Ruined Sundays, man. But,
Yeah, like you can't even go to the mall or something. It's just
it's like, and then your body's already exhausted anyway, so it's not like you want to like just go do like outdoor activity things. So you're just like, well, I guess I'm in bed for the day watching TV.
yeah,
Nice.
it's cold and cloudy. It's not like you're going to go on a hike down to like the river or swimming. And there's really none of that. No gat, no park.
yeah, no gas, no parking by.
Okay, Max, we got one more topic for the video here. Me and Logan were thinking about this. We can, me and Logan can go first, give you some time if you need to think. But we had an idea. If you had to change the sport of volleyball, where instead of a fifth set, you could do any other way to decide the game, what format would you change the game to?
Okay, does it have to be volleyball related, or it could be
No,
something?
it can be as ridiculous or as serious as you want to make it.
Like I wouldn't make it like hockey, like all of a sudden just like a sport switch up. So like somewhat maybe of a relation to volleyball,
Okay.
but like it doesn't have to be like
But I can go first here to
Yeah.
give you like we kind of hear who we think has the best idea. So my idea was to kind of do instead of a fifth set, you do like a shootout style, like in soccer and hockey, where every single player on each team gets a player gets one attack against the full defense, and if the team isn't able to return the ball back over the net, that counts as like a point. So you go back and forth, and if it's tied at the end, I don't know what happens. Then you just keep going until one team can get a kill, the other team can't get a kill. So that was kind of my idea, and I thought it's kind of practical. It kind of makes sense. I don't think it's too outlandish, but I think it's a good idea.
the only thing is that would just take forever. Whereas see mine, Max, so we're going 2-on-2 short court, same like 3 meter line, no jumping. But what you do is your team gets paired. So you have like your best team, your two best players, all the way down to your two worst. Single elimination. You lose a point, you're out. Last team with 2 guys remaining wins the set. And that's how it's done. No more fifth set bullshit. Short
Yeah.
court.
Okay. I I was thinking more along those lines, like just a like volley tennis game or something. Like
That wouldn't be bad. That's
I was hoping
basic.
it
Come on, a
doesn't have to
little
be
more
follow
outside
right.
the box,
You're gonna do
Max.
something like a jiu-jitsu match or like a boxing match on the side or something crazy.
I feel like that'd be Poland
Yeah.
of you. Make it a boxing match. All my Polish roommates love boxing.
But what would be the rules for your volleys match? Would it just be standard volleys, like 6v6, like or 7v7?
yeah, I think it would be you choose your top 6 each
Yeah.
team, but anything goes. Like setting, spiking, jumping's all good. I think.
And does it have to like be like in football where the guys have to be in the match before? Like, so if you're the bottom of the fourth, you know it's gonna go fifth. Are you subbing out like one of your middles for your backup libero or something? Or are you
I like that. I
taking
like
your
that.
opposite out, taking your opposite out, putting in your backup setter or something crazy for like you already know you're gonna win the set or lose the set, so you're getting ready.
I didn't think of that, but I like that. That's a good addition.
We'd also talk
And then
about
maybe
doing a bounce
thing where
off.
you're battling into the end of the fourth set and you have like a backup setter playing middle or something.
Just put all your ball control guys in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
gotta
don't
get
know.
those middles out.
We'd also talked about just doing a bounce off. I feel like that'd be like,
Yeah.
if you just did a bounce off, I also think people would just become more invested. Like, think
Yeah.
about like you're at like a national team game and you have like, I'm trying to think like Leon going up on like meter balls against,
Yeah.
so I don't know any volleyball players, but against some other freak, like, I don't know, I feel like
Yeah, I
I'd-
don't know. It's a fair way because there's going to be some teams that, like, if you're a ball control team, you may not have those bouncers, but you may be a way better team. So, like, or you could just have some freak on your bench who, like, sucks at volleyball but can bounce the ball to the roof every time.
keep them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be like a designated hitter. He'd just come in for the 5th set bounce off.
Bringing a little of the MLB into volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new position, I think.
That's funny.
Like, you have passing specialists, you have some, like, defensive specialists, but you never really have a designated hitter.
I mean,
I guess it's kind of an opposite.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
kind
say
of the
kinda your
opposite.
Kind of opposite, but
nobody expects him to get a dig.
No.
Just block people, serve hard, and score when you attack.
Not even block. I find opposites tend to be the worst blockers in the league.
I don't know,
Like,
man.
you have
When
like
you
a
got-
6
when you have
10
Matt
opposite,
Neves,
5 and block a ball.
when you have Matt Neves lining opposite to you, and the guy's block touch is 11.6.5, you're kind of sitting there, you're like, I'm okay if you don't set me this ball. I'm not gonna lie to you there, setter. Like, it's like, this guy's block touch is basically my spike touch. Like, how the hell am I supposed to score against that kid? Oh my god. That's awesome. All right, Max, so to finish it off, what would you say kind of like the biggest thing you've noticed from the transition from like U Sports, national team over to kind of living in Poland on your own, playing as a professional athlete now?
I think for me, I kind of had to have like a bit of a mindset shift, and like be a little more selfish and also just like not really care about things so much. Like I feel like back home, I would get like really invested in like my team and like do everything I could for the team and like I don't know, just like really like take things like personally. And you just kind of gotta. I've noticed like getting rid of that a little bit has helped a lot. I mean, like you can still be a nice guy and like I don't know, make friends and stuff on the team, but having a little more of that, like selfish and do what's best for you is pretty important because it's tough.
Yeah, you hear that, kids? Like, if you're listening, be selfish. Screw your team. Just if you're a hitter, just tell your setter hit you, set you a ball. Doesn't get mad at him. But yeah, I kind of see that because I find like in a team, especially in a university environment in Canada, you're kind of like it's really team oriented. Well, here, like especially being a foreigner, you kind of have to be there for yourself and kind of stick up for yourself a lot more than you would on a team. And I don't know, both all of us have here big goals, hopefully. So you kind of got to be like, okay, I'm not a team, but I got to find my place where I can stick up for myself and kind of find ways where I can make myself shine in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different style of like just like the mindset. You know, like all the kind of like European guys, it's like, yeah, we want the team to win for sure, but like if we lose and I play well, this is okay too. Like I'm still gonna get to go somewhere, which was weird. I found this exact same thing, you know, like you play at university and it's like when I left and came here, I was expecting to be like almost the exact same. It was like, like hang out, we'll go partying, we'll do all this stuff, and then it's like you get here and it's like, oh yeah, none of you speak the same language as me, and so definitely a culture
Yeah.
shock though. But that's awesome. Moral of the story with Max Elgert: be selfish, everyone. That's what he's telling
Yeah.
you. Beer, you have anything else or?
No, that sounds pretty good. I'm about to probably go to bed soon. So,
Yeah.
well, thanks for joining us, Max. It was a great talk. Hope we'll have you back again in the future. Maybe we're like episode 1,000 in. We'll have you back for a rerun.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. I'm pumped that you guys are doing this. I look forward to listening to some of your other ones too.
Awesome.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks,
Perfect.
Max.
Thank you, Max. Have a good one.